Alright guys, so let's take a look at a review. We have our quiz tomorrow on this, so let's take a look. Let's find the interior angle sum for each polygon. Round your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. So angle sum basically means what do the angles on the inside add up to. And I know for the interior angles, we have our formula, n minus 2 times 180. Right, that's n minus 2 times 180. That's our formula. So for us to be able to use it, let's count how many sides, because that's the same amount of how many angles. So I'm going to count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means n equals 7. So for me to find out how much they add up to, I'm going to go 5 times 180. Remember the 5 because it's n minus 2. That's where the 5 came from. So 5 times 180 is what? 900. So 900 degrees, so the angles on the inside, they add up to 900. In this, remember for the interior angle sum, use your formula n minus 2 times 180. Any questions for the first 6? No? Alright, let's take a look at 7 through 12. Looking at question number 7, it says find the measure of one interior angle in each regular polygon and run your answer to the nearest tenth if necessary. So we're going to start it the same way we did the first 6. We need to find out how much they all add up to. And for that, once again, we had the formula, n minus 2 times 180. So we count the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means there's n equals 5. So for me to find out how much they add up to, I'm going to go 3 times 180. Right, and 3 because it's n minus 2. How much is 3 times 180?
It's like 340.
540? Alright, 540. That's how much it is. But now, because we're asked how much is one angle, and there's 5 angles total, let's divide this by 5. And how much is 540 divided by 5?
40.
Start with the 1. 108. 108 degrees. Right? 108.
Oh, okay.
So, as an idea, some of you guys were struggling when you guys were doing the homework. Do I divide by 5 or do I divide by 3? And the 3 because of the n minus 2. If you were to divide by the n minus 2, you will always get 108. Right? No matter how many angles you have. And then take a look at the angles. Right? One interior angle is, I marked it right there. You guys can see it. And then I asked myself, does it look like 180? I know 180 is a straight line. So if I would have gotten 180, I know that's wrong. We got 108. And then I look at it like, does that look like 108? I know the L shape is 90. So 108 should be a little bit more open. It does look like it, so it makes sense. I could take a quick look to see if it makes sense. That's how you can double check. Alright, any questions for the first 12? No? Alright, for number 13, find the measure of one exterior angle. So the angles on the outside. And remember, for those, I'm talking about that angle. Right, you extend the side, and I'm talking about one of those exterior angles. I know they all add up to 360, always, for exterior angles. So they all add up to 360. I have to divide it by how many I have. So let me count the sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let me divide this by 9. How much is 360 divided by 9? 40. 40? We're going to say 40 and then you turn it up. 40. So 40. Then you look at it. Does it look like 40 degrees? It does look like it. It looks like about half of the L shape. So it seems about right. And then use your logic to double check. Alright, any questions for the first 18? No. Alright, looking at number 19, we have the midsegment of a triangle. And I know that little side, x plus 18, it's half from x plus 19, x plus 29. the little one, it's half of the big. That means if I multiply the little one by 2, it is equal to the big. So I'm just going to come and say x plus 18 times 2, but I'm going to multiply the little one, and it is equal to x plus 29. So let me get rid of parentheses. I'm going to have 2x plus 36. I just got rid of parentheses by distributing the 2. It is equal to x plus 29. Separate your sides with an equal sign. And just like we've done it so many times, the positive x on the right, let me bring it as a negative x on the left. The positive 36 on the left, let me bring it as a negative 36 on the right. On the left, how much is 2x minus x? X. On the right, how much is 29 minus 36? What was it? Negative 7. And I can see my answer already. X equals negative 7. If, technically, there's a 1 in front of the x. Technically. But if my number in front of the x is not a 1, I had anything besides a 1, divide both sides by that number. Right? If the number in front of the x is not a 1, divide both sides by that number. Is it good, Francisco? Oh. Okay. Anything else for the up until 24? No? Alright, so for 25, find the missing length indicated. We need to find out AB. Let's. Before we find AB, let's solve for x, kind of like we did the previous question. I noticed that x plus 20 and x plus 31, they're parallel. And I know x plus 20 is half of x plus 31. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go 2 times x plus 20, right? 2 times the little one equals the big. Multiply the little one by 2, and then it is equal to the big. So distribute the 2 to the inside. So we have 2x plus 40 is equal to x plus 31. Alright, so solving for x, my x on the right, I'm going to cancel it out. So I'm going to bring it as a negative x on the left. My positive 40 on the left, let me bring it as a negative 40 on the right. Remember, you got to switch the signs. How much is 2x minus x?
X equals negative 9.
X equals negative 9, okay. We solve for x. Now, I go back to the question. AB is x plus 20. We know the value of x. How big is AB? How much is x plus 20? 11. If we're correct with the value of x, if I plug it in on xz, just to check, if we're correct, that should be 22, right?
Yes.
Because 11 is half of 22. So is negative 9 plus 31 22? Okay. So we're correct. I said if we're correct, that's how we can double check ourselves. Alright, any questions? No? Alright, let me take roll really quick.